29th of hello to everyone. We start a new chapter of our R4 channel news. Today is December 29th, and we will try to look at and analyze the most important news in Latin America today. If you want to follow my Twitter account, I will write it down in this video on YouTube. Is P Manzo 70 in number. Okay, so let's start from a country that no one writes and speak about so much in the last period, that is Nicaragua. Nicaragua is quite important in my view because of the history and because of what's happening now, even if no one really cares about Nicaragua. And this is a shame for the media, maybe because the dictatorship in this case is a left dictatorship, is Sandinist Daniel Ortega that came back to power, and in the last almost 4 years really did many horrible things, a violation of human rights constantly, and really it's a shame. Today they they approved the new law called in Spanish Ley Mordaza, the gag law that criminalizes practically journalism in the country. And from today, you can be denounced. Not that you were not since April 2017, when huge protests from students and workers and countrymen rose, and of course, dictatorship with blood repressed it. They closed the TV channel that were not owned by the sons and daughter of Murillo Ortega, because this president Daniel Ortega divided all the main media, especially TV, to his sons and daughters, and closed channels like 100 Noticias, 100% Noticias, una televisión, a TV that was criticizing the government, and he went after El Confidencial, that is another written paper that was occupied and closed. They arrested many journalists. They also really went after La Prensa, that is the daily most read there. In fact, there is no more possibility to have an opposition, to have a free press in Nicaragua since April 2017. The situation was also not easy before, but let's say that since April 2017, in Nicaragua, the situation got worse and worse. The same period, more or less, that Venezuela tightened his dictatorship dispositions. And we remember well when 1st of May 2017, Nicolas Maduro said that he would have created an alternative parliament that he could control better, called Assemblea Constituente, in fact, a communist parliament, and that's because he lost the control on the parliament in the election in December 2015. So we see that April 2018, Nicaragua, sorry, I missed the year in Nicaragua, and a bit before 1st of May, and then the election, the end of July 2017. But in the last 3 years, let's say, both Nicaragua and Venezuela became 100% dictatorship, with no division of powers between judiciary, legislative, and the government, the presidency. So Nicaragua has got more than 100 political prisoners, and this has been the third Christmas they passed in jail. They have been tortured, they have been beaten up. There is no justification because this is going on, and it's a pain that no one speaks anymore. Nicaragua, let's hope that something will be done, but we can't be that optimistic. The same is about Venezuela. Venezuela today, the regime intervened very strongly on the issue of the new parliament, because what happened was a fake election on December the 8th, where no opposition parties really were present, and so of course the PSUV, the Socialist Party, that is the Chavista party of Nicolas Maduro, the president, won the great majority. It was a totally fake election, not recognized but by more than 50 countries, and the 5th of January of 2021, it expired the period of the former parliament that was instead been won by the opposition. So what happened? The parliament, in the hand of the opposition, say that being the election frauded, they will keep on power, and that interim president, as they call him, Juan Guaidó, will still be the president, whereas Nicolas Maduro already say that it's a joke, and most worrying is that they started practically in the last 2 days, saying that from the 1st of January, the people of the new parliament and the same Juan Guaido would be accused, could be accused of terrorism. In fact, now I look at the name of the operation. They say they denounced with a show on TV in the last hours, Carmen Melendez practically announced a terrorism operation by the opposition, calling Operación Boycott Asamblea Nacional. And in fact, they say that they've been attacked or tried to attack, terrorist attack against members of the government, against the general prosecutor of the dictatorship, Tarek William Saab, and blah blah blah, saying that there was a trial to occupy military centers, and terrorism attack against hydroelectrics, against refinery of oil, and so on. Of course, everything is fake. There is no proof of it, but they will use this boycott operation against the parliament, the old parliament that said the election has been a fraud. Sorry, it fall down my LinkedIn live. It happens. It's just a second, the chapter, and so we will see what happened, mainly from the 5th of January in Venezuela, because all the options are open. The diplomacy, the international diplomacy, is trying to do what they did in the beginning of the 90s, right in Nicaragua, with the great victory of Violeta Chamorro. That should be the road that the big diplomacies are trying to put on, and we'll see what happens, really. Other issue, the last one I want to treat in this live, it's about vaccines. First country to vaccine his population has been Chile, Mexico, followed after a few hours, and Costa Rica. These are the three countries that first started uh, days before Christmas. And is following Argentina, that is trying to have a, well, they are on Sputnik vaccine, the Russian vaccine. They chosen this vaccine. Also because they didn't get the agreement with the Pfizer vaccine. Here in Brazil, we've got the ridiculous situation of Sao Paulo governor that since 3 months is saying will vaccinate everyone with Sinovac, the Chinese vaccine. But the problem is that Butantan Institute didn't present to Anvisa, that is the FDA, the agency that should approve the vaccine, any documentation of the third phase. They say they presented in the half of October, then the half of December, the 23rd of December. Now they're saying they will present in 15 days, blah, blah, blah. It's much easier than Fiocruz Institute, that is concluded phase 3 of the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine. They say today they will present to Anvisa the permission not just for exceptional vaccination, but as normal vaccine of AstraZeneca vaccine, the 15th of January 2021. So Anvisa already answered that in less than 10 days they will give an answer. It's easy at this point that the first vaccine used by Brazil would be AstraZeneca, thanks to Fiocruz, and also because the historical of Fiocruz is much serious as this point than Butantan, because Butantan already promised it, as I said, in October, December, November, but they didn't present anything at all. So let's see what happened in Brazil. It's sure that in South America is declining a bit because of seasonal reasons respect to Europe and North America. North America, not just the US, but also Mexico. Mexico overtook Brazil. And now the three countries that are the worst positioned for deaths per million of inhabitants are first one Peru, the second one is Argentina, the third is Mexico that overtook Brazil, and also Panama. The situation is not good at all. They're increasing a lot the cases in Panama, and in the next few days it should overtake also Panama, Brazil. So Brazil, it was the villain 6 months ago. Now it's the 22nd country most deadliest for population in the world, after the three and Panama overtaking Brazil too. So that's it for today. It's been a great pleasure. See you tomorrow, always here on Heartful Channel News, and we're trying to improve every time, every day a bit. For me, it's a new experience. These lives on YouTube. So have a great night and all the best.